Instagram. We have the Instagram feed up here at Sam Newsman on Instagram. And here we are now live on Sam Newsman here on YouTube. Once again, been another interesting morning. Of course, TNT Nate coming in with some of the hot topics. Wanting to claim that the nothing burger is actually something. But of course, I see the guys in the back over there. The guys in the back are sitting there telling me that not to worry about it. Well, what do you mean worry about it? Listen, I've not heard from General Shu in several weeks, it seems like. But I'm sure that he's out there maybe somewhere. But I'm trying to do the best that I can by making sure that I do and I stay above board being the most trusted puppet in media. Listen, I know it's tough out there. It is very tough. Yes. So shout out to a DFS Infinite. I was trying to sit there and DFS, if you were out there, I was doing my best to make sure that I was highlighting what you were saying in terms of the fallacies of the New York Post, making sure that they realized that there was nothing on the laptop. There was nothing on the laptop at all. And the Biden family is doing everything above board and as they're supposed to, where, where if we talk about what's really going on, and that is the Trump organization, which is not above board. And did you see this story? Did you see this story? Once again, at Sam Newsman on Instagram, at Sam Newsman on Twitter, Sam Newsman here on YouTube, Sam Newsman on TikTok, Twitch, and Facebook. And Lone Dragons, the Sam Newsman, that's right, the Sam Newsman, and MC DJ. Hey, what's going on, fellas? Fluffy Cajun. I always prefer Cajun on my fries from Five Guys. Do you ever get? Well, because I'm not a meat eater. Yeah, people of course, I'm not going to eat meat. That's slaughtering of animals. No, I'm not going to do that. Not going to do that. Can't do that. A lot of negative energy when you eat meat. Yeah, unless it's a nice filet mignon, right? But yeah, so Cajun, Fluffy Cajun, shout out to you. Kenzo's collection. You following Kenzo's collection? Kenzo, Kenzo, the interesting thing about Kenzo is that, if you didn't have to fund that silly Eternia playset from Mattel. No, because the only good thing about the whole thing was the Modi creature, right? You familiar with the Modi creature that comes with it? That came with you've seen that playset? The playset looks ridiculous. It looks like, what is it? The Wonderful World of Dizternia. That's what it looks like. It looks like a damn theme park. And people paid $560 for that thing. Good grief, gross. Listen, you don't need to do that. The best thing about the whole thing was the little moat creature. And of course, if you want to get your own moat creature, you can get it from Kenzo's collection. That's KENZOS _ collections. Kenzo's collection here on Instagram. He can print you out your own Modi that you want. And in fact, he actually has them in glow in the dark. That's gloaty. Gloaty as well. Him and Collecting Classics. You familiar with Collecting Classics? Collecting _ classics, I believe. They had a little a shindig the other night, and I should have won. I should have won because I was very quick on the draw, but I sat there and I switched over to my browser before listening to the rules. All I heard was spell out supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. And I didn't stay on there long enough to figure out that I needed to spell it backwards. And had I done that, then I would have won. Of course I would have won. But Ash Bailey says, I live on negative energy. Yeah, Ash, you and everybody else on Epstein Island. Whoa, zing. Shout out to Ash Bailey. Knows I'm just kidding. Jeezy Creasy there also. Can't say what we say in the casual choice shot with Jeezy with the whatever Creasy. We can't say any of that. But shout out to the casual bunch, the casual crew, the casual bunch. So Collecting Classics threw in the twist, and I sat there and I went over to my browser before I finished listening to it. But I would have been able to win it. Because no one can copy and paste and go from panel to panel on their phone or their browser faster than me. I've been doing this a long time. I've been doing this since Roswell. But would have won that. But it's okay. It's okay. But shout out to Kenzo's collections and also Collecting Classics. Got an interesting thing coming up with Collecting Classics that we'll have more information about next week. So just stay tuned. That's what we call a tease in the biz, a tease in the business for that. Now, of course, we were talking about. What was it? Oh yeah, the Biden family being completely above board. Nothing wrong there. Was not selling access, of course not. But the Trump company convicted in New York of tax fraud. Ex-president's organization could be fined up to 1.6 million as punishment. Now, if he's worth several billions of dollars, I'm sure that 1.6 million won't really have anything to do. But here we are. This is from today's Richmond Times Dispatch. Here being the 10th day of December in the year 2012. It is 11/11. So 1210221111. Once again, that's 1210221111. If you play those numbers on in the lottery and you win, make sure that I get my cut. But here we go. This is, like I said, front page. Trump company convicted in New York of tax fraud. Donald Trump's company, Orange 45's company, was convicted of tax fraud Tuesday for helping executives dodge taxes on lavish perks such as Manhattan apartments, luxury cars, and a significant repudiation of financial practices at the former president's business. A jury found two corporate entities at the Trump organization guilty on all 17 counts, including conspiracy charges and falsifying business records. The conviction is a validation of New York prosecutors who have spent 3 years investigating the former president and his businesses. The Manhattan district attorney said the verdict underscores in Manhattan we have one standard, and that's justice for all. So, as punishment, the Trump organization could be fined up to 1.6 million, which is just a drop in the bucket, a relatively small amount for a company of its size, though the conviction might make some of its future deals more complicated. Orange 45, who recently announced he was running for president again, has said the case against his company was part of a politically motivated witch hunt. Speaking outside the courthouse, Trump organization lawyer Alan Futuras vowed to appeal. The verdict adds to the already mounting legal woes for Orange 45, who faces a criminal investigation in Washington over the retention of top secret documents at his Florida state election in 2020, because election. Well, elections. Hey, listen, if you want to go vote, that's okay. I don't vote. The reason why I don't vote is because here I am, a trusted media puppet. If I were to vote, then that would mean that I'd be choosing a side, and I couldn't be objective. And you don't want a non-objective media puppet, a real media puppet. Once again, I am a real media puppet. You can see me. I'm here live on Instagram and here on YouTube. A real media puppet. But of course, so not voting is something that I take very seriously, because, like I said, if I did vote, that would be bad, because then I would be bought and paid for. And the only thing that I need to be bought and paid for is if someone's going to buy me a steak dinner. Wait, what do you mean? What do you mean? Well, I mean, I did say that I didn't eat meat, but a steak dinner is a steak dinner. I mean, don't you? If someone was like, hey, even if you were a vegetarian, someone was like, hey, do you want this nice filet mignon? You're going to say no. Yeah, negative energy indeed. But yes, it has been one of those interesting weeks, and things have been quite insane all over the place in terms of news and information. And we do have a couple more stories that we will talk about at the at the end of the show on what we learned today. One of them having to do with vaginas on a chip, right? Did you see that one? The vaginas on a chip? No, not a potato chip. No, not like that. But yeah, Fluffy Cajun says that Sam Newsman ain't no shill. Ain't no shill. This is the no shill zone. No shill zone. Now, I can't sit there and speak for my media correspondents, my news analyst and conspiracy correspondents. Now, they might have an agenda. But as for myself, I try to sit there and play it right down the middle all the time. Well, of course I do. Well, I mean, that's the only way that I'm. Well, there, like I said, there are people listening. The guys in the back suits are over there, and who knows if the general would sit there and call in. Thank God he wasn't listening last week. Because if he was listening last week, oh my gosh, it was just nothing but information dump after information dump about all this crypto nonsense. You remember all that? Yeah. So it seems like the crypto stuff is going to be going away here soon altogether. Well, because they're going to have their own crypto stuff. Shout out to Raw Talk Real Deal. So Raw Talk Real Deal there in the chat. Have you had a chance to go to toyfiendcult.com? So once again, that's toyfiendcult.com. You must be a fan of, nerd culture, geek pop culture. Yeah, because a lot of times you go to places like a Walmart or a Target, and you see whether a GI Joe shirt or a Ninja Turtle shirt or a Power Ranger shirt, all that stuff, and it's the same stuff that you see all over the place. You see the same shirt over at Walmart, you see at Target, you see at Kohl's, and it's all over. And it's just saturated garbage. It is saturated garbage. But how about whether or not you could have your own customizable shirt that is you can only get at one place? And where would that be? That place would be toyfiendcult.com, where they have original designs for t-shirts, hoodies, and all kinds of stuff out there, which is really fantastic. And I think that you should have an opportunity and a chance to go to toyfiend.com. And there will be changes to the site and a new format, is what he's saying here. Changes to the site and a new format coming soon. Once again, that's toyfiendcult.com, toyfiendcult.com. So yeah, well, like I said, it's been interesting week. Shout out to Pop the Trunk Toys, down there in the chat too. We are broadcasting live on Instagram and here on YouTube, but make sure that if you have not, download the Simple Radio app. Search WDCE, and you'll be able to listen to the show live as it's intended. It's a radio show first. Now I do pull up the the video so people could actually see me, because I am a real media puppet. People always sit there and wonder, and they say, well, who the heck is talking? Is that a human? No, it's not a human. It's me, a media puppet, a real media puppet. But yeah, so it is one of those interesting mornings, and well, thank God. I'm glad. It could have gone a lot worse with TNT Nate over there. You know that it could have. Yes, and they're advocating for people to take their birth certificates and take some whiteout and white out over it, and saying that if you look at your birth certificate, it's in all capital letters. That means something else as opposed to not. You remember when you were a kid, if you were to write your name in all capital letters, your teacher would get mad. So why is it that you can sit there and write your name? You can't write your name in all capital letters, but you can't write your name in all capital letters, but the government can. So shout out once again to Kenzo's Collection and also Collecting Classics. See, Collecting Classics just joined in. And but here we are. All this information and talk about Lord Blanket, who destroyed Toy Town. Lord Blanket destroyed Toy Town, and then all of a sudden Santa shows up. Santa shows up on a reindeer and is talking about the resurrection of Toy Town and the power of the golden giraffe. I'm not sure what that's all about, but it seems to be very interesting and fishy to me because Toy Town was left in rubble just shortly before Halloween when Lord Blanket returned. And but now it seems that there is some kind of conspiracy going on that Toy Town might rise from the ashes. But the truth of the matter is that Toy Town is in your own heart. That's where it is, or it might be on your own shelf. Do you have a shelf full of toys and action figures? Then you know what? That's your Toy Town. That's your Toy Town, and that's what the thing that you need to be worried about, whether or not Lord Blanket is going to take your Toy Town this holiday season and destroy your imagination as he continues his quest with the power of the golden giraffe to destroy the imagination of children all over the world. But we shall see what happens. Yeah. Oh man. So Ash Bailey says, if it weren't for negative energy, I have no energy at all. Well, there you go. Negative energy. Well, I don't really know exactly how to go into that. Well, but I'm glad. Listen, I'm glad you have some kind of energy, Ash Bailey. And once again, people are asking what we're doing, and I said I do have the chat up here live here on YouTube, and also the chat live here on Instagram. But like I said, it's been an interesting day. We had a bunch of different articles. Like I said, they're going to tear down a statue again here on Monday. They're going to tear down a statue. The former president, Orange 45, things have been going awry with that. He's going to have to pay $1.5 million. And let's see, any other things? No. Let's see here. No. Nope. I think we're pretty much good on everything. I want to let everybody to remember. Let's see. I got food poison, bad chicken, Bad chicken. You know what? I remember my producer said a while back that he got food poison from bad chicken, and it was from chicken wings. Chicken wings. Didn't eat chicken wings for almost a couple of years. Still has a problem with wanting to eat chicken wings. So it goes back to what I told you at the beginning: is that you're eating all of this meat that's negative energy, and then all of a sudden the random thing happens, just like collecting classics. You end up getting food poisoning by eating bad chicken. So just be careful what you eat and what you're doing over there. And if you are eating bad chicken, well, tighten up. Maybe you should just go back. It was tacos. Well, there you go. That's the problem because you had chicken tacos. It's like when people say they have fish tacos. What do you mean you have a fish taco and a chicken taco? A taco is supposed to have meat. If you go to a good fancy Mexican restaurant, then it'll be shredded meat, shredded steak, if you will. So there's your problem right there. You had chicken tacos. What the heck is chicken tacos? Yeah, so lots of cereal. Call me Seinfeld. Cereal is a very interesting thing. But the question is, if you're like TNT Nate, not only did you have eggs and toast, but instead of having cereal, you had cookies and milk. All the kids out there listening, and they're sitting there thinking, well, why can't I have cookies and milk for breakfast, mommy? If TNT Nate has cookies and milk, I should be able to have them too. So shout out, of course, to Anime Figure Collector. And that's right. Oh, shout out to Cobra Viper, Cobra Viper 83. Have you had a chance to listen to the Viper's Pit, the Cobra, the Viper? Anyway, every Wednesday, him and Pac have a show on YouTube. And it's a very informative show because if you do want to learn more about G.I. Joes and have an intellectual discussion about G.I. Joes, you should be following Cobra Viper anyway. And not only that, with all the G.I. Joe savant knowledge that he has, you might even learn some things about having to roller skate. Don't you remember roller skating? Listen, nobody can roller skate as good as Viper 83. No, listen, it makes me jealous. It makes me want to be able to roller skate as well. I tell you what, Viper, if you were around and we were closer together, I'd be roller skating with you all the time. All the time. So, yes, we must be vigilant about Lord Blanket. That is very. However, unfortunately, it seems that Lord Blanket has already won because Toy Town was destroyed. But once again, so shout out, of course, to Viper, Cobra Viper. Follow him on Instagram, Cobra Viper 83, Cobra underscore Viper 83, and make sure you're on the lookout for one of the best GI Joe shows on YouTube. And that's every Wednesday. I believe it's at 8:30 Eastern time with him and Pac. That you'll get some knowledge bombs dropped on you. The only way that those guys know how to do it is interactive as well. Just like this is interactive. So, but what do you mean you're going to Toys R Us? The kingdoms of the Golden Giraffe have been destroyed. Those were destroyed several years ago. So, and unless you're going to the little corner in Macy's. Oh yeah, that's definitely Toys R Us. That's definitely a Kingdom of the Golden Giraffe. Right. Yeah. So, but here we are. It is 11:24 here on the 10th day of December 2022. Christmas is coming up. And I want everyone to know that it's time for you to be able to take some vacation time. Spend some time with your friends and family because that's what the holiday season is all about. And while you're every Saturday morning, what we're all about is playing cartoon themes and doing everything that we can to give you a wonderful Saturday morning, the only way that we know how to do. And of course, with that being said, we're going to play a little jingle here for you, a little holiday jingle that will get you guys in the spirit and in the mood. Shout out to Skydro Walker. Save 15% when you use the code Skydro. That's SKYDRO at extremesets.com. Your photography, your action figure photography may not look as good as at Skydro Walker on Instagram, but you can at least save 15% while trying. So that, when, it's the holiday season, if you get your order in now, you should be able to get it before Christmas. So, but you keep waiting a little bit longer, that will be the thing. He left, Sam. He left. Well, but you didn't leave. And I tell you what, once again, everybody needs to sit there and go and follow Cobra Viper 83 and listen to the best G.I. Joe show on YouTube. Once again, interactive as well. So, and like I said, and he might be, and if you're nice enough, he might give you some pointers and some tips about how to actually roller skate. Yeah, well, listen, I love roller skating. But we're going to get out of here. We'll be back here on the other side of this break. We'll be back on the other side of this break with what we learned today. And that's one to learn with, as far as that goes. And like I said, with we had a whole bunch of stories and stuff that we talked about. But we'll be back here on the other side of the break. But like I said, here we have imagination, Roundhead. Imagination. Mud Scuffer as well. Shout out, of course, to everybody in the chat. We're broadcasting live here on Instagram, broadcasting live here on YouTube. Follow me at Sam Newsman on Instagram, at Sam Newsman on Twitter, TikTok, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, all the socials. And once again, you are listening to the only radio show dedicated to the magic and nostalgia of Saturday morning, hosted by me, a real puppet. Download the Simple Radio app, search WDCE 90.1 FM in order to hear all of the songs that we play in between these segments here that are live, where you can actually see me. Once again, thanks everybody. We'll be back on the other side of this break here with what we learned today here on, like I said, the only radio show dedicated to the magic and nostalgia of Saturday morning, hosted by me, a real puppet. It is the holiday season, everyone, and make sure that you have some fun by going on a vacation. From the most trusted puppet in media, reporting since Roswell, I'm Sam Newsman, and this is Saturday morning.
It's that time. Christmas time is here. Everybody knows there's not a better time of year. Hear that sleigh. Santa's on his way. You can ready for Christmas vacation. Got a ton of stuff to celebrate. Now it's good. I can't change. Holiday has perfect destiny. Wait to see this Christmas vacation. This old house sure is looking good. Got ourselves the finest snowman in the world. Ain't it fun? Always on the run. That's how it's done for Christmas vacation. Let's let the homes and light the lights. Get a toasted fire, burning the day. He'll sing the warmest welcome that he's ever had. We're so glad it's Christmas vacation. And when the nights are peaceful and serene, we can call love to our Christmas dreaming. You can feel the magic. Let the spirit of the season carry us away. Just away for Christmas vacation. La 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 la.